You probably know the feeling. It's a nice sunny day, temperatures are mild, and the humidity is down. Why not meet some friends for a walk or eat outside?
You'll likely hear the normal hum of the city as a background track, but then from time to time, your serenity is shattered. The roar of unmuffled motors and backfiring tailpipes can cause headaches for a community. But is there anything police can do about it?
Reporter Jamie Bull is in Charlotte, North Carolina with an in-depth look at how drivers can make the noisy modifications to their cars and whether or not it's legal.
Lunchtime in the Carolinas.
It's a gorgeous day.
It has a lot of people looking for a table outside.
We are just connecting, catching up with my girlfriend.
People like Tina Angers and Katie Wright.
Well, in Matthews, in particular, it's pretty idyllic and it's pretty wonderful unless somebody comes by revving their engine and just completely interrupting the mood and the moment.
You know the sound.
10 out of 10 annoying. Yeah, very annoying. Top of the list because it's so unnecessary.
What goes through your head when you hear those kinds of things?
The driver probably didn't get enough attention as a child.
And it's not just happening in Matthews, you'll hear it just about everywhere. And Savina Dunn says, at all times.
Very annoying, very disruptive, especially late at night when you're trying to get some sleep.
Matthews police officer Tim Aycock gets the frustration.
Do you get a lot of complaints about that from citizens?
We do get a lot of complaints for motorcycles, vehicles, trucks, and that type of thing because it's an annoyance.
How do you police this sort of thing?
It's tough. Obviously, a lot of our stuff is complaint driven, so we try to, catch up to those individuals as quickly as we can and safely as we can. So a lot of times it just takes us and knowing from the public and, receiving those tips. But if it's a moving vehicle, it's different unless the officer can really be right there on top of that situation. So that's why we try to educate the people that have these systems that, first of all, it's not legal.
The law in North Carolina is pretty simple. The statute covering noisy vehicles is just a few lines long. Your vehicle has to have a muffler or other exhaust system of the type installed at the time of manufacture. And it's unlawful to use a muffler cutout.
So if I buy my car off the lot,
Right.
it's obviously legal at that point, right?
Right.
So what are people doing to them after that that's making them non-compliant?
So they're taking it to demodification shops where they'll remove those pipes or catalytic converters or whatever it may be to make those sounds. And a lot of people want it to sound like a race car or some type of sports vehicle. And that's understandable for movies and television, but it's not legal or it's just not realistic.
We also hear that backfiring sound. Is that something that they can modify and make that sound too?
Yeah, it's something with the baffling within the catalytic converters and those types of things they can change, and then the muffler itself. So there's different things they can do throughout the exhaust system to make those modifications to make certain sounds that they're looking for.
If you get caught, you might just get off with a fix-it ticket. But if you're not careful, you can cross over into violations of local noise ordinances. Those fines can start at $100 and work up to $1,000.
How disruptive can that be, and why do you think it's important that this sort of thing is dealt with?
It's very important to have that addressed and to educate people so they hopefully don't do it to begin with. But we have to hold them accountable if they do.
Savina Dunn, like many, would just appreciate those revved up drivers thinking of others.
Where are you going? Why do you need your car to be so loud? Do you not care about your neighbors?
Experts say every state has its own metric for determining when a car is too loud. While enforcement for violations can be difficult, some cities have deployed noise cameras as a possible solution. The cameras detect when a noise from a car breaks a city's ordinance. It then records the license plate, and the city later issues a ticket. A city official in Knoxville, Tennessee says the system can actually determine the specific noise characteristics between a modified vehicle and a large city truck.
And we'll say, hey, this is actually the kind of sound pattern, that is the kind of thing we're looking for, and it'll pick up, let's say, fire trucks, street sweepers. Those have a very specific sound characteristic, and say, hey, that's actually not the kind of violation that we're looking for.
The city of Knoxville has been testing the tech for several years, and officials deemed the cameras necessary in the downtown area after a pilot program revealed how often the noise ordinance was being violated. New York City is also finding success with the tech. In 3 years, the city says it collected enough money from fines to recoup the entire cost of the camera program.